My name is CHALL, your sports channel, and welcome to my preview for the first game of the League One season. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, and we start against MK Dons. Now, today I have already uploaded a transfer analysis on a brand new signing, Rayhan Tulloch, so that throws an absolute spanner into the works just a couple of minutes before I started recording this. And also, we have the predictions for Championship, League One and League Two that I've put into one video. It's like a summarised prediction video. That is all released beforehand, so make sure you go check that out before you watch this. And yeah, we're going to preview the first game of the season. Like I said, it's against MK Dons. Russell Martin's side, I predicted them to finish 23rd in the league. Some MK Dons fans can, shout and scream as much as they want, but that's just my honest opinion. There is an exciting future under Russell Martin, but I do think that, I think you could be in trouble this season, in my opinion. I might be wrong, because that's what predictions are for. But today's video, I'm going to share with you the ins and outs of MK Dons so far. And I'm also going to share with you my predicted lineup for the game, because we've got a fully fit squad. Someone in the form of Reece James has just come back, and the brand new signing of Rayhan Tulloch has really thrown a spanner into the works, because I had my lineup, I was all ready to go. Then the announcement came out, I got the notification on Twitter that they've signed Rayhan Tulloch on a season-long loan from West Brom, and yeah, that threw an absolute spanner into the works. So I had to change a couple of things around last minute, and then here we are, we're here. So, let me first go on about the ins and outs of Milton Keynes Dons. So, in terms of outs, first of all, they've sold a lot of their players. So, looking at the outs of the club, Dylan Asengayi has gone to Oxford United. Jordan Bowery has gone out to Mansfield Town. Alex Gilby, one of their top midfielders, has gone to Charlton Athletic. You've got Ryan Harley, who's gone to non-league Bath City. Conor McGrandles to Lincoln City. Stuart Moore, of course, he's been released, as well as midfielder Charlie Patterson. Defender Jordan Mortell has gone to Forest Green Rovers. Ben Reeves has gone to Plymouth. Joe Walsh has gone to Lincoln. And Reece Healy, the striker, has gone to French side Toulouse. So, obviously, things will change from that point, from the time we're recording this, but that's just the outs so far as of recording this. On the other side, they brought in quite a lot of ins. Now, of course, in terms of loan signings, first of all, they've loaned in 2 Norwich City players, Lewis Thompson in the midfield and Carlton Morris from striker. Of course, he was there last season as well, so that is in at the club again. Lasse Sorensen loaned in from Stoke City, and Warren O'Hora, the defender, loaned in from Brighton. So a Premier League loanee and a couple of Championship loanees now. But in terms of permanent transfers, there's only a couple that's not like re-signed players. I mean, they've got Daniel Harvey from Ayr United. They've brought in Richard Keogh, of course, that used to be at Derby, but his contract was terminated after something that happened. And of course, he's now a free agent, and then he signed up with MK Dons. So, to be fair, to try and get up into the Championship, that is a good signing, because you've got a Championship-proven defender. So that's a good veteran experience to the defensive backline. And they brought in Scott Fraser recently from Burton Albion. So, again, a good signing from a good proven League One signing. But the rest of it, it's just re-signing players. Laurie Walker, Ben Gladwin, Dean Lewington, Joe Mason, Callum Britton. So there's a lot of re-signing players. Like we said, they held their home ground as the Stadium MK. They were predicted 23rd to finish this season, in my opinion. And of course, managed by the retired player, Russell Martin. Of course, retired at the end of last season. Just gone. Now you're probably thinking, what is my predicted lineup for this game? Well, I'm going to share it with you right now. I'm going to share with you my predicted starting 11. I'm going to share with you my bench, and also the players I've left out of the squad. And I'm going to tell you guys at the end of that who I had to, change around and things like that. So let's start off with our starting 11. So in goal, it's tough for me because Lewis Jones against Bradford. I'm sorry I didn't do a preview or review of that EFL Trophy game, but Bradford, it was 0-0. We won 4-1 on penalties. And, Jones showed a decent display in goal, which gave more selection headaches. However, for this particular game, for the start of the season, I've gone with our number 1, Joseph Bursey. Yes, he was on international duties, but I am highly convinced he will start, and I think he can deliver just as good a game as Jones can deliver, because Jones is a good goalkeeper, don't get me wrong, but I think Bursey will start and will deliver just as good a game as Jones would have done. Next up then, in the defence, starting with the right back, I've gone with our only out-and-out option, Brad Halliday. He showed signs in pre-season. Of course, last season he was one of our better defenders, so he was showing some excellent signs in the right back position. We are getting, well, apparently we're looking at a young right back. We've got him on trial. Apparently one contract offer has been offered. No negotiations have continued. But in terms of the last wave of trialists, a contract has been offered, so of course we're looking at a young right back, a holding midfielder, Julian Lammy, the forward, who used to be at Rotherham, and of course Andy Butler, our former club captain. So, it could be any of those four. But the young right back reports to be Charlie Seaman. Apparently someone told me it looked like Charlie Seaman, of course, a former Bournemouth player now, of course had loan spells at Eastleigh and Maidstone, and I think Dundee United as well. So, even though he's a Bournemouth player, he's been loaned out ever since his time at Bournemouth in the last couple of years of his Bournemouth career. So, maybe he could be an option, maybe. I mean, I don't know. But, if it's a backup option, then maybe it could be the right one. It might not be the right one. If you've got any information on Charlie Seaman, then let us know in the comments. But Halliday's our only out-and-out option so far. And, Halliday is going to play, in my opinion. Centre-back partnership, no change for me. Joe Wright, Tom Anderson. I believe that tomorrow, if he does start, then this will be Joe Wright's 1,000th appearance. No, I think it's 1,000th appearance. I think it's his 1,000th game. I'm not too sure. I think Joe Wright's broken some sort of record going into tomorrow. Because I think there was a video on the Rovers YouTube channel. No, it's his 100th start. My apologies. Why am I saying 1,000? It's his 100th start. So I think if he does start, it will be his 100th start for the club, and that's a phenomenal achievement. 100 starts for the club is brilliant. Why was I thinking 1,000? I've no idea. Maybe my mind's gone into meltdown. But Joe Wright, I think he will start. He will make his 100th. Start for the club, and what a record to break, by the way. Well done to Joe Wright for that. His partner, Tom Anderson, like I said, I think that Anderson will partner with Wright. I think they're the dynamic duo in the back. I think that Anderson has showed signs this pre-season, as has Wright, so I think it's very, very clear. Left back position, now, even though Reece James has returned, he's pretty much near 100%, I'm going to go with Danny Amos to start. Yes, again, it was a tough one because Amos is coming back from international, and of course Reece James is only just back 100% the last couple of days. So it was tough to decide between the two, but I think Amos has got the current form going into it. Yes, Reece James has missed most of the pre-season with that injury, but I think that Danny Amos will start, and then maybe Reece James gets the last 20 minutes. Or, I could be wrong. Maybe Darren Moore does go with Reece James to go with some fresh legs and to give him 90 minutes or something. But I'm worried that if he gives him 90 minutes, it might be a risk. It might be at risk of making it worse, shall we say? Even though he's back 100%. But if James or Amos, it doesn't matter. I think I'm happy with either of them, but I personally think Amos, because I think James might get the last 20 minutes of the match, or maybe the last half an hour, depending how we do. Might give him half and half. We don't know, but I think they're going to start with Amos, in my opinion. Next up in the midfield, and in the first holding midfield position, we have Ben Whiteman, our captain, leader, legend. Now, of course, Ben Whiteman's been the transfer saga of the summer. We already know that. He's been getting bids from Barnsley, from Blackburn, from, all over the place. Loads of clubs attracted to him, but we've kept him. He's staying with the club. He picked up a knock. That's why he wasn't in the Blackburn game. And, he's back. And I think he's going to lead that team by example. Club captain. And, he will be in the middle of that midfield. Partnered alongside him, it was tough, because even though in the Blackburn game I was a little hard on Madge Gomez, I think that he has shown signs this pre-season. To be honest with you, he's not a holding midfielder. I'm going to defend him and say he's not a holding midfielder. So I think some of the traits of a holding midfielder that he didn't do well on in the Blackburn game and in other games, that's what he needs to improve on if he's going to play in that position. But I think that Gomez, if he's going to be in a holding midfield position, needs to learn that trait. So I think It would be nice to see him there, but I think the most likely option we're going to go with is Taylor Richards. Now, Taylor Richards on loan from Brighton until the end of the season. Reports maybe that Richards could be a permanent move next season. I mean, from the signs that I saw in the pre-season games, I think it'd be a great permanent move, especially since we got Cameron John on a 2-year contract, which was already a brilliant move. So, it'd be nice to get Richards on a permanent move next season as well. Next up, the wingers, starting off on the right, and I think it's no-brainer here, Jason Lakilo. I think that Jason Lakilo brought in, on a 1-year deal with an option to extension from Crystal Palace, and yeah, he showed signs this pre-season. He's got some absolute star pace on him, and he can only improve his game with the minutes he's got. So I think that Lakilo will be a good option. I think he's probably one of the only out-and-out, options. So yes, very, very good stuff there. Next up, on the left wing, or so to say left midfield, we've got Taylor, sorry. What did I say, Coppinger? Yes, because that's the next position. Taylor, John Taylor. So, again, no problems with that. He's got a lot of pace on him, and, again, I think he's going to be a very good option on that left side. Then we move into Cannes, where we find Coppinger. Now, Coppinger hasn't shown a lot of signs this He's shown some good signs, don't get me wrong. He's shown some good signs like everyone else, but I think that compared to other players that have been getting ratings of like 7s and 8s and maybe even 9s, Coppinger's been around the 6, maybe 7s this pre-season. So obviously there's a couple of things that he'll need to improve on, but I think that Coppinger will have a good season for his last season, and I've got no problems with him whatsoever. And then up front, now this one's a tough one because obviously we've got our 2 new boys, John Jules and Tulloch. But I'm going to stick with familiarity for this game and ease the new forwards into it, and I'm going to go with Fajiri Okunabiri up front. He's shown fantastic signs this pre-season. He's proven to show that this season he could be an absolute goal threat, and I would start with him personally, stick with familiarity for now, and just stick with that. And let the new guys just be eased into the club. So, looking at the bench, that means we've got Lewis Jones, Cameron John, Reece James, Ed Williams, Maja Gomez, Tyrese John Jules, and Rayhan Tulloch. And the players that we've left out, AJ Greaves, Brandon Hornton, Ben Blythe, Liam Ravenhill, and Lyric Hassani. Now, originally, before I had the notification that Tulloch had signed, I had Hassani on the bench. And it would just be Greaves, Horton, Blythe, and Ravenhill left out. But looks like Hassani's going to be left out as well because, as you now know, I've got Tulloch on the bench as a backup forward along with the other new guy, Tyrese John Jules from Arsenal. So there we go. That is looking at my predicted starting lineup. Now, to end the video, my predicted scoreline. This one's a tough one because, there are signs with MK Dons. They could come at us with some attacking pace. I've seen highlights of the previous campaign under Russell Martin. Yes, it was a struggling finish, but I think that, Russell Martin has shown that he could be a good manager, and I think there's some players in the MK Dons side we have to watch out for. I'm being realistic. I'm not going to be one of those fans that goes, yeah, we're going to win 5-0, 10-0, 15-0, 20-0. No, I'm a realist. I'm going to say, you know what? If we approach the game in the right way, then we're going to get a good result. So, sorry to MK Dons fans, but I'm going to be realistic. I'm going to say my prediction is a 3-1 win. Now, I say 3-1 because I think we may concede a silly mistake. And sometimes that happens with us. We're a team that sometimes likes to go 2-3-0 up and then maybe we'll concede 1. And maybe for the other team, the floodgates will open. But I think it'll be a 3-1. I think we may concede first and then build on that and just attack. And, I think that maybe we could, or to be fair, we could go 2-3-0 up in the first half and try and be, defensively disciplined on the pitch in the second half. And, we might concede 1 through a silly mistake, but, maybe it was just a one-off mistake. Maybe it was just a one-off thing that we just kept our eyes off the ball for a second and something happens. But overall, looking at the basis of things, I think that we're going to beat MK Dons. We're going to get the first 3 points of the campaign, and you've seen my predictions. I think we're going to finish in the playoffs this season. I think we're going to finish inside the playoffs, and I think that this is going to be a good season for Rovers, and hopefully we'll get promoted through the playoffs. So Thank you very much, guys, for watching this video, the preview of MK Dons. Make sure you go check out our other videos today from the transfer analysis of Rayhan Tulloch and, of course, my Championship League One and League Two predictions video. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, match review, MK Dons. Stay tuned for it. And for now, guys, I am the CHALL. Please like, comment, subscribe for your Doncaster Rovers and football and British basketball content. And for now, guys, goodbye.